chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight.
All right. It sounds like I'm screaming into the void, but I'm not. I got wires hanging from everywhere. All right. Anyway. Let me just get started on this. First things first, I'm not going to be streaming long. I just want to correct a few things. This is incredible. The last video I did, it was kind of on the rant side because I really wasn't feeling anything. I guess it was disappointment. And a lot of things that I said came out. And a lot of those things that I said, I meant. And look, I know a lot of people were hurt over it. And believe me, I look on X and good God, I've never seen so much bootlicking in my life on X. No, like maybe 5 years ago during COVID, when you had all the Democrats screaming about being locked down and being happy. This is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I named this video. At first I thought I wasn't going to name it and just leave it blank. But I kept thinking in my head, just like a lot of people, they're coming to the same conclusion that Maga's dead. The amount of lies right now that's coming from the administration is dizzyingly staggering. I've never seen anything like this. Even during the second Gulf War, where they tried to convince you, and they did, successfully they did, for some people they did, that what they were doing was right and just until the aftermath happened. We were there for, I don't know how many years, maybe 10 years, 14 years. I don't know. It seemed to go on right throughout the 2000s, right up until 2010, 20. I just remember it being like that. But this one's different, where you have the president saying two different things at once, and then you have the aftermath of everything that went on. And you have all these people in the administration who are being forced out to say just how justified we are for doing what we did. Even though they can't explain what was the dire reason for us going into Iran. Now, as I said on X and on Locals and on God knows wherever else, I'm not cheerleading for Iran. I'm not cheerleading for Khomeini. I'm trying to understand what the reasoning is. And I cannot come up with any justifiable reason for this. I can't. I keep hearing people I trusted online, people I trust online saying, no, this is all part of the process. This is 4 or 5, 18 to 18, 30, 300 degree chess. No, it's not. This is just plain stupidity. And the bottom line is, am I recording? Oh yeah, I am. The bottom line is, how did we get into this situation? look, I'm not naive to this situation. When you put two aircraft carriers anywhere in the globe, in almost like any region of the globe, it is almost certain that something's going to go down. But when the president himself comes out and says no new wars throughout the campaign, almost all the way up until I don't know, last year, and then all of a sudden it's become, well, they were negotiating in bad faith. Like the last time they tried this crap, they were negotiating in bad faith, so I had to kill them. In this case, it's the same deal. They weren't moving fast enough, so we just went right for it. We just went for it. I said in my last video, something's not right, and it isn't. And I think what's going on now is a lot of people, prominent people in the MAGA movement, and some Republicans are starting to question. They're taking flack. I mean, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. I'll get to, all the aftermath of this, but I just need to know what's going on. That's pretty much it. Hold on a second. Let me put the headphones down and get into this. How's the sound? Sound good? I guess it is, because nobody's complaining. Okay, we're going to need to scout these guys out. I need to update my weapons quick. they know I'm here. They know I'm here. I had a good run with that guy. Had a real good run. Ah, screw it. I might as well go this way. Get some wins under my belt. Mm-hmm.
Killing spree.
Oh, look at that. He's coming up. Little help, guys.
Killing spree.
We still got the victory. Anyway, I've been looking around on all of my favorite sites, and it seems to be a mixed bag. And the underlying question that everyone is asking that hasn't been answered yet, at least to my satisfaction, is what was so dire? What did the Israeli Prime Minister tell Trump that made him take this action? Now, because keep in mind, before then, oh yeah, well, we were moving aircraft, we were moving people around, but now they're just plain lying about the situation. I said this the last time I streamed. Why did they move the THAAD system out of Abu Dhabi and move it to Israel? With a base of 9,000 people, why would they evacuate the base in Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates? You know, why would they? There are questions that the Trump administration cannot answer. They don't want to answer. And even if they did answer it, I don't think I would like the answer that they would give me. I'm almost certain of that. What is this? 3? Okay, that would be half my money. Which means now I got to just keep fighting for. I'm fighting for cash. I'm a mercenary now. Whoa! Everything went up. I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, all right, so what else can I do here? I mean, I can only do but so much. You see 62 the mine layer, but I never really used the mines, and they don't seem to be working like they used to. Maybe I can update his. I mean, I've been updating his weapons slowly, and then yeah, this might be the one, but I think I can do something else. This is 45 in a day. You know what? I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one because I think I need it. Even though this was a 2, so it's gonna go up to a 3. I guess that's good. Yeah, I was watching the press conference today, the White House press briefing, and I'm hearing the same theme over and over. But again, Caroline Levitt, she wasn't able to explain what the reasoning Trump changed his mind on this. Why did not change his mind, but she didn't explain what was so dire. She gave the standard story. You know, they're going to attack Americans in the region. Well, Iran has been threatening that for decades. The thing is, they never actually acted on American bases until recently. And then there's the question of what happens afterwards, which I already know that the Trump administration did not think this over. Iran doesn't have any minerals. There's nothing there. The only thing that's in Iran at the moment is the trade routes and oil. But even then, that doesn't justify us going to war with Iran. It just doesn't. They don't have the capabilities to reach the continental United States. As far as American troops go, people are just waking up to the fact that we have American troops surrounding Iran right now in the West. It's almost the same thing with Ukraine. People are waking up to the fact that we have American bases and American stationed from the Baltic states all the way down to Turkey. Or should I say all the way to and through the Balkans. And by that, I mean Romania, Hungary, and God knows wherever else. We have bases there. And then there's what the Prime Minister of Israel said just recently. He's overjoyed with this. And he didn't hold back. And then once people started to catch on to what he said, all of a sudden the Israelis go quiet. And did you notice that the Trump administration will not mention the Israelis by name? They will go, those guys. or I forget the one that I just heard recently, like those guys ones, and the guys over there, they're doing our work. That's the stuff that they've been pushing on X. And then there's the Trump's approval rating, which I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Basically, he had a spike in approval, even though he's getting hammered. The people in the administration are getting hammered. So how is his approval rating going up because of this war? They're touting it as, oh, it's an anomaly, and Trump is doing a phenomenal job. How on earth, if you are MAGA and America First, and you were out pushing Trump, backing Trump, the centerpiece of his re-election campaign was no new wars. So they're saying MAGA all of a sudden wants war, but they won't say who. Now, the ones that I'm starting to notice a trend, the ones who are taking AIPAC money they are the most ecstatic. And then there's the other ones who, for some odd reason, they just don't want to say anything on the RNC side. It's almost like they just won't talk to him, or they won't say anything, but they don't want to get caught on record saying anything. You would think that a lot of these MAGA people that Trump endorsed, they would have came to the president after all this went down and said, you know what, Mr. President, my constituents are like, they're up in arms. They're not liking this. They're not feeling it. And it's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt us in the midterms, and it's going to hurt us in the re-election. Let me check what's up here. I need to see what's going on. Okay, there's some new stuff here, but I'm not really feeling a lot of this stuff. Oh, there's one, the heavy. I can buy the, no, I can't, because I gotta buy all this crap to get to this. There's something new. A missile drone? I think I know where this is going. Oh, it's going right there. I might buy this. No, wait a little bit. When I get to 300,000, then I'll buy it. I mean, that's interesting. I like that. This is interesting. They're finally doing something with these drones. Before, they had two of the same thing that didn't do anything. Yo, I hear you. Look, I hear you. I hear you. No, the last video I did, it really didn't get any play, because they are like YouTube, X, pretty much all of them, except maybe Rumble. I don't know. I haven't posted anything in Rumble in God knows how long. But YouTube and X, if you start saying, if you mention Trump, Gulf War, Iranian, if you mention any of those things, they will literally push your video down. If you're gun-ho, if you do the Lindsey Graham route, they'll keep posting your video over and over. I can't fake it like that, not now. Because in 2020, I voted for the president. I mean, I seen what was going on. In 2020, I seen what was going on. And it was, to me, there was something wrong. And it didn't make sense, and it wasn't right. And that's why I said in my previous video, a lot of the MAGA crowd, when we got him in, we expected like him to go hog wild on the establishment, on the senators and the staff, even ROC people who were like squishy Republicans. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing it. So I don't know. No, I'm gonna stay on till 10. I can't, like right now, I'm just working through stuff. I just can't. I said this like the last time I streamed, you know, if you do your returns now, if you've already done it or did it, compare your return. If you're getting a return, compare your return from last year. If you're getting back less, and I'm starting to hear from a lot of people that, you know, they're not seeing any difference, or at least a difference that makes a difference. Like myself personally, me and Booth, we're not getting back any more than what we got back last year. As a matter of fact, we're getting back 100, maybe 100 to 200 less. I mean, I'm not understanding this. And again, we were promised something, we get him in, and what we get doesn't make sense. Now, I'm still holding out hope. I said this last time, I'm not going to completely give up, but I'm really close. And as far as the midterms go, I'm not going to vote. I mean, I don't think we're doing anything in this state for anyone, but I've said this before. I think the Republican Party, I think the MAGA, these new MAGA people, they need to be taught one hell of a lesson, as well as the president, because he's not listening. And the only thing he really listens to is once his numbers start dropping. If they drop dramatically, he'll be forced to listen to his base. And they're going to tell him something completely different than what the neocons and these new MAGA people, and we all know, we know who these people are. They're not going to be able to hide it anymore. But I'm not voting. Even if Pennsylvania did have a midterm, I'm not going to vote for these people. And as far as like 2028, I'm not voting. I'm not voting for anyone on staff now. Rubio, JD. Where is JD? You would think this is another one. Voted for no new wars. He said that when they were in Atlanta. No, they were in Arizona. This is before Charlie Kirk got shot. They were all tight. They were hyped up about that. They were yelling this out. So where is he now? Don't want to talk about it. Going to CNN to explain why he's now for war. What? Yeah, I got it. That's the same thing. Well, Rubio's already proven. He said it himself multiple times about Central and South America. What was the game plan there? And then I keep hearing from a lot of these right-wing nuts who are saying, no, this is all 4D chess. I'm sorry, but something ain't right here. Something's not right. Just recently, I was just reading a story on how the Kurds up north are joining the fight. They're putting boots on the ground. Why? Or should I say the Kurds in northern Iraq? Well, why are they doing that? Why are they coming in? There's something not right here. Something's not right. I'm not feeling this. Something's not right. And maybe I just need it explained. I don't know. But something isn't right. Let me get a couple of games and I could talk about this. Like my voice right now is really getting scratchy. Had to actually put an actual sock or something to cut the wind. I don't know how this is going to sound. It probably sounds like crap. Yeah, on locals, I mean, from what I said on locals, from what I said and what people got off of locals was that what I'm doing is just for spite. It's not for spite. I feel let down. And despite what all these other people are saying, you know, how good this is going to be, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing this on a domestic side, which is more important than the international side. And then there's, okay, let me get into this. I need to jot down what I just said. That way I'll remember it. Hey, Pam.
First blood.
Where's my gun? I knew it was coming. Boy, I'm running out of time. It's almost 10 o'clock. I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's been 4 days in since I made that last video. That was on the 1st. The operation happened on Saturday morning. And since then, it's been like, especially on Twitter, well, X, it's been like an onslaught of all these pro-Trump, Maga. You need to stay with the program. You need to stick around. It's 4D chess and 82,000 moves. You know, I think anyone with some sense can see that something's not right here. And I was just watching, I was watching Megyn Kelly from like the second, I think it was the second, in her intro. And she had Marjorie Taylor Greene on. Megyn Kelly was spot on. She was right. And she said that something's not right. Something's not right with Trump, and something's not right with this situation. She accurately identified the things that I suspected and that were in my head, you know, since the beginning of this. No, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Depending on where you came in, who you knew, you know, what brought you to the MAGA base and America First. You know, you see some of these people who were all for this war. Now they're starting to go in like the opposite direction, because they're starting to see that a lot of the YouTubers and influencers, a lot of these people, well, should I say independents, not affiliated with, you know, the hard right or, you know, just the right in general, right-wing media. You're starting to see these people start to question and identify that, you know, something's not right, and they see it just like I see it, and I hear it, and I'm hearing the excuses that are coming up, and they're changing by the day. Every day they're trying to push the narrative. No, we didn't follow the Israelis. The Israelis followed us. Well, that doesn't make any sense. What, the Prime Minister of Israel came here for what? To say that, no, we're going to follow you right to the end. And yet he got no press when he was here. So that kind of tells you something that's going on. And that's not the only instance of this. Like my X feeds are filled with Israel's in a dogfight to the death and they're winning, and I'm like, what? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. They're telling, and on the one hand, they're telling us Israel's a minor player. They can't be everywhere at once. Down there in dogfights in downtown Tehran. Interesting. And then there's the other spin, which is, well, no, there's no American planes. They're bombers. The B-2, it came and went, and that's it. And then on the other hand, they're saying that they have a full deck. And if you don't know what a full deck is, that means that they got multiple wings along with heavy bombers, and they're going to town. And then there's the censorship. It's amazing that an operation like this is going down now, and there are no reporters anywhere near Iran at the moment. Even Al Jazeera is not in Iran. And then there's there's the Iranian press, which seems to have disappeared. I guess if you go on, I don't know, maybe some of these other sites like TikTok or something, you'll find them. But you got to look. You got to look for a lot of the stuff that's coming out from Iran. You're going to hear me say this a lot in these next couple of weeks. I don't like what's going on. I don't see it. I don't like it. So, you know, you might as well get used to it. The guys on on X, you might as well get used to it. And I think what I said last time, you know, I think after something like this, I mean, there's no way that they're going to change the president's mind on this. Congress is not going to do anything unless they're provoked. And by what I mean by promote, what I mean is provoted is the Republican Congress right now. Well, if they lose seats, then the Democrats take over. But this needs to stop. I should write this down. Hold on. We need to stop. That's what it is. I'll get right back to that. I think this is going to be my last one, and then I'll just ride this out. Excuse me. Did I get it or did he get it?
First blood. Double kill.
Come on, reload me. I mean, I should have seen that coming. I should have been more aggressive. I'll get one more in. Anyway, I titled this as Maga Dead. Judging from the polling that's been coming out, everything's great. Everything's grand. Everything's perfect. The president's numbers are higher at the highest they've ever been. People are approving this. I'm not seeing this. I think someone's cooking the books, and they expect you to follow along. Something's not right. And I think anyone who's watching this, you know, on Twitch right now, if you're watching this, or, you know, YouTube, you know, pay close attention to what's going on, because something's not right here. And like I said, the lying that's coming from the administration is off the charts. They don't know how, I've said this before, they don't know how to present the message. If they wanted to present this war, there's ways to do it. But it keeps coming back to, why did they have to go now? What was so important right now? They can't explain it. It went from Israel was going to be attacked with a nuclear weapon to they were going to attack Americans with nuclear weapons. They were going to launch a nuclear ICBM to Americans, and we had to act now. They're off the charts with the excuses, but they haven't said why. And I have this feeling they're not going to. Should I do one more? Yeah, I'll do one more. Yeah, these videos I'm doing now, these are rants more than anything else. They're just rants. I'm just trying to clear my head and make sense of this, because this is not making sense. We took care of the 3 nuclear enrichment sites, but yet now we have to go back in and do it again. Well, the B-2s weren't sent in for that operation. They were sent in to kill the Ayatollah and his bunker. So why did they bomb the 3 enrichment plants again? And then I keep thinking, you know, back last year, like almost immediately after the bombing of those 3 enrichment plants, you know, you see them working, trying to pull stuff out. But the Trump administration said that didn't happen. But it did happen, because you seen it. So were they lying then, or are they lying now? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm gonna do one more and then that's it. I'm just gonna end it, because one, I'm running out of time, and 2, I think Candace Owens is on. I haven't been keeping up with her stuff lately. I mean, I gotta watch this stuff with Erica Kirk. It's really interesting. I still remember like almost a month ago, or was it 2 months ago? It was I know it was last year, or was it? It was sometime in December, when she just mentioned Fort Huachuca. The entire MAGA base jumped on her. This doesn't exist. You don't know anything about military structure. I mean, it was hilarious. And then they have since moved on to, well, she's using words incorrectly. She's stammering. If you're going to be in podcasting, you have to learn how to talk. I mean, it is hilarious what's going on. And meanwhile, every video she puts out, she gets over 1 million views. Every videos that these guys, all of these guys, I just call them the Candace Club guys. they're not getting any views. They're like getting anywhere between like a 200,000 for maybe a couple of 100,000. They're not getting much of anything. Hold up, let me see if I can scope this guy out. Got him. It's the same guy. It is. Why are they like huddled together there?
Killing spree.
Yeah, there's my phone again. See, now these guys, they found out. They hear what I'm saying, and now they're coming after me. I mean, this is hilarious. I've been hearing the stories about Megan Kelly, which is really interesting. They liked her until she started questioning, all the politics. I see where she's coming from. Why is this guy still alive? Look at that, he's still moving.
Killing spree.
Took you long enough, jeez. Anyway, pay close attention to what's going on, because the administration is lying to you. They're not telling the exact truth. Anytime that they start hammering like talking points, and the talking point now is the president, he was impatient with waiting for them to make a decision. So he had to kill them right away. I mean, it's pay attention to what's going on, because these are very, very troubling times. And I said in the intro, is MAGA dead? I think for the midterms now and for the election that's coming up in the next 2.5 years, I think it is. I don't, even though they keep saying that the base is with Trump and all this other craziness, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing this. I think a lot of people that I know, they're saying the same thing. That they're not Republicans. They did vote for Trump in this last election, but what they were expecting was what he just broke. The promise that they were expecting, he just broke. He not only broke it, he broke it 2 different times. And I think this is one that, you know, this is something that you can't just ignore. And I said this before, for me personally, I'm not going to vote in this election, and I'm not going to vote in the midterms for whatever senator, at least on a national level. I'm not voting these same people in, because again, I'm not seeing this is not the response that I wanted. And for the president to just go full-blown war, I mean, maybe you guys can explain this one to me. The Iranians, in his words, broke their promises over and over. Well, isn't that what he's saying about Vladimir Putin? I don't see us sending B-2s to take him out. I don't see them launching, you know, missiles to take out Moscow or St. Petersburg. I'm not seeing this. Again, what was so important that he had to act now? And please don't give me that line that they were going to use ICBMs on the United States or the United States citizens in the region, because I ain't buying it. There's something else going on here. I don't like it. I don't think we're going to know exactly what happened, how this all went down, because there's no one who's actually doing any reporting on it. Tucker danced around it, same thing with Megyn Kelly, but I have a feeling this is probably the last time they talk about it, at least more or less. Megyn Kelly, I don't think she's going to be talking about it for a while, because I know that she's taking a beating all over. Tucker's always taken a beating for his stances on Israel and this war, this Gulf War. But like I said, I'm not seeing this. I'm not. There's something wrong here, and just keep an eye out. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. You know, if you want to follow. I doubt that I'm going to get any views off of this or any other video I do. I have a feeling the MAGA crowd is probably going to abandon me, but that's cool. You know, you continue doing, I continue doing what I've been doing. Look at this, look at that score, look at that. So anyway, hope you guys keep watching, follow if you like, and I'll see you guys when I see you. But anyway, you know, just keep an eye out for what's going on, because something's not right. And the president, his initial tweets and what he was saying a couple of days ago was that we might need boots on the ground. Now he's saying, well, that could happen. It might happen. It could happen at some point in time. No, I don't want to hear that. You know, I don't want to hear that. We're like in a war right now. I want to hear direct answers. I don't want to hear it could be, I don't know. I might do it next week. It could happen 3 months from. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Let me get out of this before, I just continue this right up until 12 o'clock. Peace, guys. Let me get out of this. Anyway, keep an eye out for what's going on. Stay vigilant. And if well, I'm losing my train of thought real quick because everything is flowing into my head at once. And I keep saying it just keeps coming up. The president is not listening to his base. He's not listening to his base. And the only way to make him listen to the base is to throw something in the works that he doesn't like. Now, I know that if the Congress switches to Democrat, his entire agenda is over. But you know what? I'm not seeing any other way to stop this. And as far as the MAGA base goes, I think these people need to wake the F up right now. No new wars. I negotiated peace talks, but he can't negotiate this one? No new wars. Remember what he said that last time when he was on the tarmac going back to Air Force One, and he says both sides need to shut the fuck up. Or I forget what it was, but basically he cursed and he said both sides are at fault. Remember that? Now apparently only one side's at fault. No new wars. That's a new one. No, I was expecting something a little more elaborate, but no new wars, and this is what happens. No new wars. No new wars. I'm surprised. I'm absolutely surprised. And I keep telling myself again, I supported the president this go around. I was under no illusions. Trump is kind of erratic when it comes to things like this. But when he said no new wars, for me, that was something that I was most concerned about. And I'm not saying that because it's the thing to do at the moment. No, if you're my age, you know that our military has been on the move since when I was still in grade school. So we're talking what? Back from 92 all the way up until today. And we've been the policemen of the world. We can't sustain that. And look at our allies. They're rock steady. We need to go into Ukraine and we need to kick the Russians out, and we need to bombard the Russians. We need to do some tactical nukes in Russia. And here we go. We go into Ukraine, when we go into Iran, literally with no backup. The only nation that was fighting with us was Israel. And from what I understand, they had already started the attack and we had to catch up to them. No new wars. No new wars. Maybe that's what I should name this video. No new wars. Did you notice you don't hear any people on YouTube complaining about this one? They don't talk about it. I guess it doesn't concern them, high prices, under Biden, everything was high as hell. Democrats didn't complain. They seem to be complaining about a lot of things now, but they can't complain about this war with Iran. Again, No new wars. And the only people that we can get to help us, those in the MAGA base, to get the person that we wanted to do our bidding, to do a complete 360. Because again, they keep saying Trump has the ability to change on a dime. He might change, change his mind. Again, I don't think he's going to do it this time. I think the response that comes from the MAGA base, it has to be definite. It has to be something that the entire Republican Party feels on a national level, on a local level, on a state level. It has to be straight across the board. And I keep hearing these guys, that never works. The MAGA's not going to go for it. They will. Guess what? They will if they start seeing Republicans lose seats. They will when they start seeing the president drag the Congress every week about this impeachment and that impeachment. And you know what? I don't blame him, because he's giving them what they wanted. No new wars. No new wars. I just keep. Let me get out of this. I just keep thinking. I mean, look, things are guaranteed to get better at some point in time. I don't know if it's going to take a threat of impeachment, loss of seats in the House, maybe lose the Senate. It's going to have to take something before it's got to get worse. It has to be so damaging to the RNC that the next time that Israel tries this crap, senators, the president, congressmen are going to go, remember last time we lost the House because of this, because of you? We're not going to risk this again. You want us to go to war, come up with a better reasoning. No new wars. No new wars. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I still can't get over the fact that they moved the THAAD system from Abu Dhabi back to Israel. We got 9,000, 20,000, 18,000 in that region alone. So they move a THAAD system away from the region to Israel. Don't they have the Iron Dome? Didn't the Iron Dome, remember that? The Iron Dome was supposed to be 100%, they're knocking down missiles left and right. What the hell happened to it? No new wars. And we're following a country no bigger than Maryland. And somehow they got us into a war. No new wars. That's amazing. And you know what's funny? After all of this goes down, the Republican Party will do the exact same thing that they did this time, except they're going to do it again, probably in another country. Oh, I don't know, maybe Turkey, because the prime minister or the president of Israel has mentioned something about Turkey. No new wars. Let me get out of this, guys. If I continue this, I'll be going right up until 12 o'clock. Guys, it's always darkest before, the light, the dawn before the dawn appears. Just hang in before things get to the point where, where you seem like, there's no hope. Things will turn around and we will get the champion that we want and that we deserve. A lot of us thought it was Trump, and it's not. Trump he's become not just a neocon, he's become super neo. Maybe that's the title of this. Trump becomes super neocon and screw everyone else. But there needs to be a reckoning for this. There needs to be a reckoning for this. All right, let me get out of this. Later, guys.